Did you hear?
Hear what?
The pop. Yeah.
Hey, girly pops. Welcome to the Pretty Obsessed podcast, aka The Pop,
We're so
episode
excited.
1.
It's literally our first episode.
I'm so excited.
I'm so pumped.
It's going to be great.
Literally. So we're just going to introduce ourselves real quick since it's episode 1. Maybe you don't know who we are. So we've been best friends for a long, long time. We calculated 7 years.
I know, that sounds like insane, though.
Yeah.
It
We're still
literally
19.
feels like yesterday. Yeah, I'm a child. I'm a baby still.
You're a teen mom.
I'm a teen mother, which brings me to my introduction. Hello, I'm Rae, and I am originally from Southern Indiana. I graduated from BYU in elementary education, and I'm a mother of one. My son, he's almost 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Lex. And I work in the film industry. I went to film school at BYU, and I studied screenwriting and directing. But I had been doing acting for a really long time. I started in high school. Well, actually, that was my first set ever when I was 11.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that little.
Yeah, I was an extra for a Disney Channel movie called Minutemen. Do you know that? Have I ever told you? Wait, did I not tell you that?
I loved all the boys from Me Too for a minute.
It was crazy. I was just talking about this with my sister, my big sister. She was on there with me. And she was like, she's so crazy because Nicholas Braun was on that
Yes.
show. And she talked to him at one point and she was like, you're tall. And now he's like this big actor on Severance. No, Succession.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
insane.
That was
insane. Your lore goes.
I have so much lore. If you guys keep watching the podcast
You
and
will
listening to
learn.
podcasts, I have so much lore.
You
It's
will
like
learn.
it just kind of comes out. So stay tuned for the lore.
Because the only thing I knew was High School Musical.
Oh, okay.
That you were on the set of High School
I
Musical.
think that was my second job ever.
Wow.
And it was like the same year that happened. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I got my bug for film, was being on the set of that. Just like seeing Jason Dolly, because I'd recognized him and I was like, oh my gosh, you're like a real person.
Yes. Yes.
And then ever since then, I was like, I just really want to work in the film industry, because that was like seeing the reality of it for people made me realize this could be a reality for me too.
Aw, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So Jason Dolly, if you're watching this, you're the reason why I'm an
You're the
actor.
man. You're the man.
All because of Minutemen. Like, yeah.
I love that movie. I need to rewatch that.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Honestly, underrated. Very underrated.
Underrated.
I think it got overshadowed when High School Musical came out.
Oh, maybe that's why.
That's my guess. But yeah, so later I was in High School Musical 3, and that was when I peaked, because I was in the same room as Zac Efron. That's my fun fact I tell everybody. Like, whenever I have to like get to know new people and you have to give a fun fact, that's my fun fact.
You guys are learning the fun facts.
I was
already.
technically coworkers with Zac Efron.
Amazing.
But yeah, so that's me. I'm not married. I don't have kids. So we kind of have like different perspectives going into this. But yeah, we've been besties for a long time.
And I think
7
that's like
years.
one of the craziest things is we have lived life and yet have stayed connected through
Yes.
all of it.
Yes.
You were my bridesmaids. We've been bridesmaids together for other friends.
Yeah.
Especially because we've started adult life together and we're like still exploring it, which I think
Yeah.
is really cool.
It's so cool to think about. We started our friendship at the same like phase in our lives.
Yeah.
Like, we were both in college. We were roommates.
Yes.
So we forgot that fact.
Long roommates.
We were roommates in college, and now we've grown into our own, but we've stayed friends through it all and have like witnessed it all. And I just think that's like one of the coolest things about our friendship.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we actually met serving a mission in Cambodia. And then we were roommates, like we said.
And then they were roommates.
And then they were roommates. Fun fact, Lex was one of my first mentors on that mission. And we lived in the same house twice in Cambodia. Cambodia was crazy.
So crazy.
Such a fun experience and way to start off like our adult life, which was really fun.
Yeah. We're like trauma bonded. We went through a lot together in that country.
So much. So much. We actually are just learning that we might still have parasites from it.
Yeah. I literally went to the doctor today about it.
Exposed. It's just fresh, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I think, well, this is actually good. I think a lot of people from our mission is going to listen to this. Listen, if you went to Cambodia and you're listening to this, I think you have parasites. I think every single person that went there for a year and a half to 2 years, like, you have
Like,
parasites.
what did we eat? What did we inhale? What did we drink?
Literally, I had so much street food, like everyday street food. So,
But honestly, this, whatever is inside me, if it is a parasite, you make me stronger. You make
what doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's so funny.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to start a protocol for like a parasite detox and a mold detox because I lived in a house of horrors. That's a story for another time. But
Crazy story. Insane. So, Lex, let's tell the girly pops why we started this podcast.
yes. Okay. So we are on Marco Polo like it's an addiction.
Yes.
And if you don't know what Marco Polo is, because I know some people aren't on it, it's like text messaging, but instead of text, it's videos. So you're sending videos back and forth and you just watch it in your own time.
And you can respond at your convenience. That's my favorite because it's not FaceTime where you have to answer and talk back and forth. It really is the messaging back and forth.
Yes. And there's like so many things you can do on Marco Polo that you can't do over like a phone call. Like 'cause sometimes you just need to like physically show someone something and you can save the video if you need to as a reference or just like, it's just great. It's
so
a
good.
Great app. And we've been on it since we got back from Cambodia.
Yeah. So
long
7
time.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Maybe more like 6 years
6
ago.
years. Yeah. 6 years ago.
Because that's
You're
when we
right.
got back.
That's how we've been able to stay in touch with our friends that have lived in various places across countries when we've done study abroads. Yeah, we've been able to keep in touch through that app.
Yeah. And I am really bad at keeping my messages short. They're basically podcast episodes that I send you.
Same though. Literally same. I'm in a group chat and someone's always like, "Wow, that's a long message, Raven." I'm like, yeah, called out. I just have so much to say. I have so many thoughts.
Yeah, we're yappers for
We're
sure.
yappers
Yeah.
for sure.
And so I love doing like multimedia. Again, like I majored in film and I love podcasts. You love podcasts.
I love podcasts.
I think you listen to a lot more podcasts than I have.
Yes.
So
that is actually part of my lore. I used to work as a custodian at BYU in the library. Only we didn't call ourselves custodians, and I can't remember what we called ourselves. I don't know if it was like building caretaker, which I'm like,
oh, yes, I did building care.
that's what it was.
Yeah, building care.
Why is it called that though? Can I just please be called a custodian?
Because you're above that, right?
I know. I think they were trying to make us sound holier than we were. It's like, no, I was just picking up trash. I never had to do bathrooms though.
Really?
Isn't
Oh,
that
I had to
so
do
nice?
bathrooms.
Yeah. But yeah, I would hours. I worked so much as a custodian and luckily we were able to wear like headphones, AirPods, whatever. And yeah, I listened to so many hours of podcasts. It was the best. It was the best.
That's so great. Wouldn't you like study that way too?
Yes.
Like you would listen to your notes?
I would listening to books if I had to read like a book or I'd listen to my notes.
So smart.
Yeah.
So smart. Yeah. So I was making a vision board for this year and I put a podcast on there. Honestly, I've been wanting to do a podcast for years.
Yeah.
Like probably when everyone was thinking about starting a podcast, 2020. I think that's when it started for me. But it just never happened. And I knew that I just couldn't be that podcaster who's able to like solo host. Maybe like once in a while, but every single episode, I just knew I would be good at it. And so we had been chronically Marco Poloing us at each other. And I
Like
was
30 minutes.
Like 30 minutes or longer. I think one time I sent like a 45-minute one. Well, I was going through it. I sent a 45-minute.
But I loved it. I loved it. Yes.
You never made me feel bad about it. I appreciate it.
I literally love long Marco Polos.
And so I was like, you know what? We'd be so good at podcasting. I think it'd be so fun.
So fun.
And so I mentioned it one day and you're like, yes, let's do it.
I was like,
let's
what's
do a
the
podcast.
harm? Yeah, let's just do it.
Because we do it anyway through Marco Polo.
Yeah.
So let's let our besties listen in.
Yeah, listen in. Whatever comes from this will be awesome, no matter what. Just
Yeah.
if we're connected with a bigger community, more friends, all the things. Which brings us to our topic of this episode, which is adult friendships. Because we're all out here. We're all adults and we're trying to make the most out of our lives and trying to make the most out of our relationships.
Yeah. Yep. And especially now, because you and I are post-grad. And this is the first time in our lives where we haven't had like a super structured environment that like easily facilitates friendships.
No one prepares you for this time in life.
No one.
It makes me so mad because I'm like, this is like a big part of life. It's a big part of life just being not in school, being in your career or not. Like we are.
I'm unemployed right now, so
I mean, but you book film things though still.
that's true. Every once in a while.
And
yeah.
I substitute teach a couple of times. So we're like semi in it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're not going to the office every day.
Right. We're not
Anyways,
9 to
no one
5ers.
prepares you for this like time after you become an adult and the rest of your life is just you adulting. And I feel like the best way to get through it is to have friends and to have girls' nights and to make memories with people. Yeah, I love adult friendships. This topic is so mind-blowing to me. I feel like we could have multiple episodes about this.
Oh, absolutely. We should.
Yes, we should.
I'm down.
I know one of our friends actually just did on their podcast an episode about adult friendships.
Yes.
Yes. The Welcome to the Zoo podcast.
Yes.
Shout out.
We'll tag her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have done a lot of, when I say research, I mean looking at TikToks because that's the new type of research, you know?
It's modern day research.
It's modern day research. I'm a visual learner. It's fine.
Same. Yeah.
So I saw a TikTok and it was about how a scientist did a study where people stood at the bottom of a hill and they were standing at the bottom of the hill and they were judging how steep the hill was. And those accompanied by friends actually said that the hill was less steep than those that didn't have a friend there, which I just
like,
think is
mind-blowing.
crazy. And this TikTok, we're going to tag her, the Taryn Arnold. She had said how mind-blowing it is to have friends change your perspective and actually change the like chemical makeup of your brain to how you visualize how hard things are. And basically she was saying that if you have friends in your life, you have the capacity to accomplish more because you're not as afraid or you feel more brave, feel more confident, which I just think is crazy. Isn't that
Yeah.
insane?
No, I totally believe that. It's like when we got back from our missions, and by the way, we roomed with like multiple people from our mission, by the way, and they're like our besties.
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 We're trauma bonded.
We are so trauma bonded.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We went to a university that is basically 5 minutes away from where I grew up, but you guys became my support system. And there were times where I literally had a mental breakdown.
Oh,
Like,
all of
I'm
us
crying.
did. Yeah.
Remember we called
same.
it powwows?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. We would have these powwows where we would just kind of get together because one of us is going through it and just support that one person and just show up for that one person. And
I
I
know.
swear that changed like my first year back.
Aww.
I don't know what I would have done if I had roomed with like strangers because up until that point, I had only ever lived with strangers.
That's true.
I've had so many roommates. That's more of my lore. I've had over 50 roommates.
We should do an episode about that one day.
Oh, we should.
That would be crazy.
Honestly,
But
yeah.
you can't name drop.
I can't.
Or
I'll have to
maybe.
change names so much.
So much. So much.
But it's all good. But yeah.
That's so crazy though that I don't know. We've had so many experiences together because we've been through so much. And I just have to say to our friend group and also all the friend group out there that have been together for years and or decades. My husband's in a friend group that has been friends for decades. A decade, I would say. Yeah. Maybe going on 11 years, but I'm just like that's so cute because I feel like there are 3 pillars of adult friendship. Retention, addition, and creation. And retention, I would feel like is the best way to start if you're looking to gain or strengthen adult friendships. So retention really, in my mind, means maintaining already amazing friendships. How do you think we have retained or maintained this friend group from 7 years ago?
I mean, a big part, Marco Polo.
Yo, constant communication.
Constant communication. Oh, we recently have started doing like a Wednesday check-in of sorts.
Yeah.
And I have loved that because sometimes we go like months without checking in with each other.
We really did for a while there. Yeah.
And let me think what else. I mean, I hate saying this, but like shared experiences, dare I say trauma bonding, but like it doesn't have to be trauma. Because I think when you have like repeated shared experiences with someone and you keep up with it, that's just like a recipe for like retention in a friendship.
I've always said, I feel like what makes a friendship is memories, or experiences make memories. Memories make friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just enough to experiencing together. You need to do it multiple times in order to like have something to talk about. Have something to look forward to too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why we've become such friends with so many people from Cambodia, because we basically spent like a year and a half with the same people.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of memories.
And a lot of experiences and overlapping
yes.
with relationships and like knowing each other. Because we actually were never like partners going out and like teaching.
Yeah, we were just in the same house.
We were just in the same house. So, but we've like stayed together because we had so many overlapping relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you want to better your relationships that you currently have, do a weekly check-in. If that's too much to handle, possibly also think of doing a monthly like girls' night or a virtual or male night. I don't know.
Male night?
a guy night.
Oh, a guy night. Oh, I thought you meant like sending letters. Like, let's be pen pals.
You could also
that
do
be
that.
Cute.
That would
that's
be really cute.
I had a friend who did that.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, shout out to Carrie if you're watching
Ayo.
this. Oh my gosh, I was so bad at responding though. Girl, I'll send you one. Like 5 years later, I'll send you one.
Oh no. Oh no. Not the men, the talk of man.
Yeah.
Men, actually. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That's hilarious. Oh, but speaking of men though, I do want to say I love that your husband has a long-term friendship group, because I feel like boys just don't really retain their friendships as much, and it's so sad.
I really do. I'm like, I need to look up that article I was reading. No, I need to look at that TikTok I was watching. I need to rewatch it. But it said something along the lines of men and women really do need, like a husband and wife really do need men and women relationship, you know, like outside of, like the husband needs man friends.
Yeah.
And the wife needs woman friends to really help them out. Like, it's not enough just to have husband wife. I feel like some people get married and they get stuck in this like, well, this is my best friend, so this is going to be my only friend. Your spouse can still be your best friend, but not your only friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think your spouse can fill your cup in ways that your friends cannot, and vice versa. So it's just having healthy relationships in your life. And I feel like a lot of people do kind of lose that when they get married. And so they have to like refine that, or like not even when they get married. Sometimes when people just get into a relationship and then the friends just kind of disappear for a bit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, retain those friendships.
Those friendships. Have a girls' night. If your friends live out of town, here's something I recently started doing. Have a virtual girls' night or a virtual friends' night. You can call or FaceTime on any app. You don't even need the same. I have called a friend who lives in Australia. So there you go. You don't even need to be in the same country.
No
or
excuses.
Continent.
Or hemisphere.
Or hemisphere. Yeah, it's like the opposite. It's the farthest away. Yeah. Wow. You can just reach out. Just see where people are, because I think sometimes when it comes to having those really close friends and then you don't hear from them for a while, you're always hesitant to reach back out. Because you're always nervous, like, oh, like, what if they don't like me anymore? What if they're done with me?
Right.
And I feel like it's happened to me before.
Yeah, I hate being the person to reach out, because I think I have rejection sensitivity. I'm ADHD. There's some more in my lore. But I find like one way that kind of helps with that is literally just telling your friends that. I'm so scared about being the first to reach out. So never feel nervous about being the first to reach out. I actually encourage it. I need you to be the first to reach out. And I promise I'll always respond or something like that. It just goes back to communication.
It just goes back to, yeah. You just got to communicate your feelings. You can always send a text. It's so easy to communicate nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
There's no excuse, really.
Yeah.
So my next idea of adult friendships is the idea of addition, or creating new or stronger friendships from quote unquote referrals or references or acquaintances. For example, your spouse might have a friend who's married to someone that you get along with. For example, my husband was friends with this guy. His wife and I are twin flames. Like, we are so similar. Every time we get together, we talk nonstop. You would think we were friends for decades.
I love that.
And we've probably hung out a handful of times. But it's
I just
you,
love when
you
you just
can
click with
find
someone.
you can find that in the wild.
I had one time I was living, this was during college, and I was living in this one apartment, and I had met some girl from the church I was going to, and she was getting to know me, and I was telling her how I loved pop culture and like I work in media and all that kind of stuff. And immediately she was like, "You should meet my roommate. You would love her."
Oh, cute.
And I was like, "Okay, fine, yeah." And so she like set up like a play date for us, and she came over with us.
I love it.
To like introduce us to each other. And yeah, she was like into pop culture the exact same way that I was.
Aww.
And it was so fun. And that was like, that was before I moved to LA. So probably, oh my gosh, that was probably like 3-4 years ago. Probably 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And we're still friends.
Cute.
And what's so great, it's like one of those friendships where you don't necessarily need to be in constant contact with each other. Like sometimes we'll randomly check in after 6 to 9 months.
I
And
love those friendships.
We'll just like send something on Instagram related to pop culture. Like, what do you think this is about?
Ooh.
Like, whose side are you on with this?
We
like,
should have her on the podcast. I don't know if she's in Utah.
She
but
would. Yeah, she's in
Oh
Utah.
my gosh.
Wait, she'd be great on the podcast.
She'd be so good. We just need to figure out how to do 3 miles.
I'll put my Venmo in the
In the episode notes.
in the episode notes if you want to donate to our cause.
Please
Having a
send
guest. We're both unemployed.
It's true. My first year.
Anyway, yeah, she's like ended up becoming like a good long-term friend.
I love that. See,
Someone
just
introduced
because
us.
someone was like, you two will click. See, I think there can be so many connections in the wild. Will have you. Because you just know the people around you. Or, yeah, maybe you have a church group. Or maybe you do pickleball. Go meet the friends there. Say, hey, let's meet. I also think, because we're unemployed, another big place to make friends is the workplace. I don't have any current experience with that. But when I did work, I had a lot of teacher friends, and they were so sweet to me, so nice. And we would sometimes, you'd get lunch together on your lunch break. And that's like a great way to connect with people and make friends.
Yeah, like I think adjacent to the workplace is also just like your hobbies as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm an actor, which some people might see as a hobby. I consider it work.
I do
It's a little bit of both, I guess. But I did a movie back in September, so it's probably like 6 months ago or something. And we all just hung out with each other like a week or two ago because someone from the cast, she's in a play called Clue. And we just like got together and went to go watch her and support her. And I'm like, did I gain friends from this random movie that I booked? And I just, you can definitely meet friends in the wild, either through work or through hobbies. I think it's a great place to start because your work is your interest, right?
Yes. Yeah,
so,
that's true.
So like for you
so
teaching.
there's common ground there already.
So that already brings you together just from that interest alone. So I think
you could also join Facebook groups. Or I know you have an experience about that.
Yes. Yeah. I moved to LA a few years ago and I had no friends, like none at all. I would have people ask me like, "Oh, do you like have family here?" I'm like, "No." "Oh, do you have friends here?" "No." Like I was such a loner.
They're like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah, which is such a common LA experience. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's like full of transplants.
Oh,
And so there's a lot of Facebook groups that's dedicated to helping girls just find their people.
I love that.
Yeah, and I love watching it and seeing people connect through these Facebook groups. And so I went to one. There was this girl that was hosting a Thanksgiving. It was like a Friendsgiving, I guess is a better way to put it. It was a Friendsgiving party on the beach in Malibu, and it was beautiful.
That is so
I'll insert
fun.
some photos here, but it was like, it was so beautiful. And I was so nervous going because I was like, I don't know anyone. But what was nice about this group was no one knew anyone.
Oh,
So
that is nice.
Yeah, that was nice. That's why I recommend those groups to find some people. So I went and I ended up finding a girl there who was also from Utah.
What?
Who had
That's
moved to
crazy.
LA. Yeah, and she and I hit it off. We had a lot in common. And so we've like stayed in touch this entire time. And that was 2023. So it was like 2 years ago.
Wow.
I was actually just DMing her like a few days ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Communication. It brings it back to communication. You can always reach out. You can always send a meme. You
Yeah.
can always send a DM.
And something that I like about social media, this is something I've noticed, like the more I share on social media, I don't like to post a lot, but I like sharing on my stories. Like I come across posts that I like and I'll just share it. That like opens up the gate for communication for someone to like respond to it.
Yes,
Yeah,
because you're putting it there for them to then message or have like a more intimate discussion because it's a DM rather than a
Exactly.
comment on a post. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's like a little thing that I've been doing. I've been sharing a little bit more just to kind of open that communication for people who want to reconnect or update and, you know, and so that was why the girl that I met from that Friendsgiving DM'd me because I had shared something about Utah and she was like, oh, are you back in Utah? And I'm like, yeah, you should like come visit whenever you're back in town. She's like, absolutely. Like, so
fun.
yeah. Yeah.
That brings me to my third and last pillar of friendship, which is creation, starting new friendships from scratch. Like we said, we can do it in a Facebook group where you don't know anyone and they don't know anyone either. Or you can cold contact, like just like walk up to people. I had someone the other day at church be like, I don't have any friends and I'm a new mom and you have a baby. I have a baby. Let's try to be friends. And I was shocked by that. I was like, wow, she's so brave to do that, but everyone's looking for friends. So,
oh yeah. Like, I don't think you can have too many friends at all.
I don't think so either.
I've never heard anyone be like, oh, I have too many friends.
My one caveat with that is I do think people have like a threshold with how much they can give to friendships.
Yes, yes.
And there are varying thresholds. As someone who has a very large threshold, like I could be everyone that I meet's best friend. At least that's what I had thought at the beginning of my adult life was we were going to be best friends all the time. Like our friend group, our roommates that we were like, I was like, we're going to have all these and everyone that I become friends with, we're going to have the same relationship and it's going to be at the same capacity. And do you think you can have the same capacity of a relationship with each friend that you have?
Absolutely not.
I was just
I'm an
like,
introvert.
So yeah, okay. I was just so delusional about it because I think what happened was I would have friends that had a smaller threshold than me, and I would feel kind of sad when they didn't give it all.
Right.
But I think a lot of that is also maturing and learning that people have, like I said, different thresholds, different capacities for what they can give. And I learned actually from a friend recently, she's been kind of discovering that same thing too. She's very extroverted like me. So she likes to have lots of friends and she's had friends for decades. And she's just said in her adult life, especially being a mom, she can only give what people give back to her. So like filling other people's cup in the same capacity they fill hers.
Right.
Because she has to protect her peace. And I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
There's not enough hours in the day, I guess.
Yeah,
There's not enough time. So that brings me on to my next point. Should friendships require constant maintenance?
I think it depends on the friendship. I think it really depends. There's this one friend that I've had for a really long time, like since junior high, arguably high school, a long time. And we just kind of we tried to maintain our friendship post high school, and it just wasn't working, and I just wasn't feeling it either, and I think she wasn't feeling it either, and so I think we both just kind of let that friendship go. And I think that's fine. It's healthy and normal, but there's certain friendships that are like absolutely worth the maintenance.
Yes.
And some friendships don't need as much maintenance as others. Like the one friend you mentioned that you got introduced to and you guys were twin flames.
Yes.
Like some people you just like you hit it off so well and you can just go years without talking to each other and it's totally okay. And then other people, it's like they fill your cup in a way where having more of like a weekly or even daily maintenance like us, like we're always talking to each other every day. Like that's just the nature of our friendship and it works.
Yes, I agree with that. My high school friends, I loved my high school friend group. That I had like such a big high school friend group. It was so fun. But our paths just never really crossed, and it was mostly my fault because they all stayed in Indiana and I moved to Utah. So naturally it just fell apart, you know. But anytime I run into them, it's like time hasn't passed and I can still talk to them, and you can still follow people on social media and still like love them from afar. And I seriously do. I'm obsessed with them from afar because they're like doctors and lawyers.
Oh my
They're
God.
like, no, I know. I'm like, they're so successful.
Oh my gosh.
I'm amazed. I'm fangirling for my friends that I had in high school that I haven't really talked to in years, but I still love you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Honestly, I'm so grateful for social media. Like, I feel like a lot of people kind of get a lot of crap about social media, which it has its pros and cons. But for me, it's been very helpful for like loving people from afar that I
Yeah.
have drifted away from,
And
but I still
connection
love
still.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Okay, my last point that I want to bring up is this is from a TikTok, and she was petitioning to bring back the casual hang instead of the more formal catch up. For example, hang out while getting groceries or going to the gym, or while someone is even cleaning or cooking dinner, instead of being like, we have to get dressed up, we have to go out to a movie, we have to go to dinner, we have to go do something. What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? I think kind of going back to my previous answer, I think it depends on the person and the nature of the friendship.
I agree with that.
Because I've had some friendships where it very much thrived on the casual hangs.
Yes.
Because we just like, I don't know, some people you're just so in tune with, you know, that you can just be spontaneous with them and just be like, hey, come grocery shopping with me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
They're able to. But like some friendships do require like making an appointment.
I know, seriously.
Like, I hate saying that, but like some people are like truly just so busy and you just can't drop everything.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I do think though, like back to Marco Polo, I think Marco Polo kind of facilitates the casual hangout.
I never thought of that before. I definitely think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's so much more convenient. Like if you can't just drop everything, everyone can do Marco Polo though. Because like we'll usually multitask as we're like,
100%.
We'll
And be cooking, cleaning, laundry. Yes.
doing our hair, doing our makeup, whatever. Like it's very casual. I think it's made us a lot closer because it's been so casual with Marco Polo.
And because this person that did the TikTok was saying that the casual hang comes from the idea of when you were friends, you were probably roommates in college, which we all were. And you saw that. You grocery shopped together.
Yes.
We
shared cars.
which I started laughing because we didn't have a car to grocery shop.
I know, literally.
For the first little bit.
Yeah, only one person had a car.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Shout out to Jess and her car.
Your car, the black
RIP.
one.
Yeah.
I know. That was so iconic. It was the smallest car in the world, but we were so grateful that there was a car.
So grateful.
Because we bussed to go get groceries.
Do you remember when COVID started? And we were
the only ones in the room. We were the only ones in the whole dorm.
There was 6 people in an apartment. Everyone left except me and Rae.
Which brings us more lore. We're even further trauma bonded because that was crazy.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah. It was crazy. I just remember like getting up because like everyone was fighting for toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't have a car, but there was a bus system that would take us straight to Walmart. And so we would bus there like when it opened, which was like, 7 or 6 a.m.
Did we really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why can't I remember this?
I think we only did it one time.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
2 times. But yeah, we just like showed up and we had like our duffel bags and everything.
Yes.
And there was like people lined up outside of the door. Like everyone was just getting toilet paper.
Oh my gosh.
And we took the bus there because Jess, I think, had gone home. No, she got married.
Yes.
And so I didn't have a car. Ray didn't have a car. So we were left to just use the public transportation. And yeah, we are trauma bonded. Oh my God.
I just remember bringing my backpack to the grocery store. And sometimes when I go to the grocery store now, I'll get like flashes of that. Like, I used to put my groceries in a backpack and then still carry some. This is crazy, I used to spend $30 on groceries for 2 weeks.
How did you do that?
I don't think I ate. What was I obsessed with back then? Peanut butter?
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches like every day.
I also had scrambled eggs a lot, and eggs weren't as expensive back then as they are now.
Yeah, no, it's crazy now. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So insane.
I didn't know that about you. $30 for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I would use
Wow.
to budget. So when I got married to my husband, who's a little bit bigger than me, he's a big guy.
Football player guy.
Yeah, he would eat a lot. And I was confused that we weren't just spending $30 on groceries every 2 weeks. That's okay. He made more money than me. Thank goodness. Oh, gosh. So funny.
Wow. How did we get on that topic? Why were we talking?
I don't even know. We're talking about the casual hang.
Oh, the casual hang.
I definitely think the casual hang is a great concept. And as a mom, I think it's great to have it, especially when you're just surviving like the toddler years or with a newborn. It's important to just go over and help people clean or go over and just sit there while someone does laundry. Like that is so, so nice.
Yeah.
But I think there's nothing wrong with trying to make things like a little special sometimes.
Yeah.
And like going out and having like a fun time. I definitely think it depends on the personality. I have some friends that we could dress the nines and we'll go out and we'll do everything together and it always will be a lot and then sometimes feels like high maintenance. And then some friends that we're always just sitting on the couch and talking. But it's also amazing because it's so peaceful and so nice and so comforting. And sometimes you just need to talk and not do all the things. But I like both. I really like both. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a balance.
I do think it's a balance.
I will say, though, I think it is definitely, like, you reached the highest level of friendship when you can just, like, go to each other's house and just be on each other's phones and not talk.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I agree with
just
that.
existing in each other's
just
space.
existing.
I think that's so
And
special.
sending TikToks to each other while doing it or sending memes and just, it's the best.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I think it is a balance for sure, though. Like, there's definitely quality in each for different reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's your number one advice or experience for making adult friendships?
Making adult friendships. That's a good question. I would say, based on my experience from when I moved to LA and I didn't have any friends and I was like truly just starting from scratch, is to not be afraid to put yourself out there and don't be afraid to do something new by yourself. That's something I wish I had done was like, I wish I had gotten involved with anything that just like put me in front of people. And like, I'm grateful I did the Facebook group, but it was a one-time thing. So like, if I had just taken like something about me is I love tap dancing.
That's so
And-
fun.
Yeah, I was like, I wish I just was able to just go to a tap class, the same tap class, same time every week. It's probably going to be the same people. You automatically create friendships from that. And you get great exercise in and you get out of the house.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say just don't be afraid to put yourself out there, especially like the friend you mentioned that was like, hey, you're a mom of one, so am I.
Yeah.
Like just being bold does a lot.
It does do a lot. And I think the right people will be receptive to it.
Absolutely.
My number one tip for making adult friendships, I think, is one, to be grateful for the things that you have. I think gratitude goes a long way. And then two, experiences make memories. Memories make friendships.
Amen.
I just really think try to go out and do things with your friends. And I'm one for balling on a budget. I think so are you.
Me too. Yeah.
We heard how much I spent on groceries when I was single. But you can do free things, walking around farmers markets, just going the casual hang, like we said. That's all for free. Experiences make memories, memories make friendships. So now we're going to move on to a fun segment on our podcast that we're going to be continuing to do every single episode. And it's called the Pretty Obsessed
Segment.
Segment. The Pretty Obsessed part. So it's pop. I don't know. This is where we discuss our current obsessions for the week. And it can be anything, right?
It can be literally anything.
So it can be like food and
Music,
what's on
art,
my mind?
spending only $30 on food for 2 weeks.
I just remember getting like Granny Smith apples all the time too. I'm like, and I can't eat any anymore.
Really?
I think I just ate too many of them.
Oh, because you had to.
Yeah, and because they were like the cheapest apple. So funny. Anyways.
So every episode, we're going to talk about something that we're quote unquote obsessed with.
Yes.
And it could be a product. It could be anything in the arts. It could be just a show or like maybe a great piece of advice we found or received.
Yeah.
Like it can literally be anything that has resonated with us in any shape or form.
And we'll even have a spot on our social media for you to submit your current obsessions and maybe we'll share them.
Yes.
We would
So,
love to share them, so please submit.
please submit. Our Instagram is at prettyobsessedpod. So head on over there, give us a follow if you want to contribute.
For this week, my current obsession is when the theaters re-show old movies,
Oh my gosh.
but in talking about the casual hang or a formal whatever, being with friends. My friend reached out to me and was like, knew I loved musicals. We love musicals.
Mm-hmm.
And they re-showed Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, they did?
Yes. And I was like, heck yeah, let's go. So she invited me. We went. It was amazing. Popcorn. And some of you might be thinking, that's really weird. You could just like rent that on Amazon Prime or something, or watch it on one of the streaming services. But to see it in the big screen.
Yeah.
And to hear it.
Oh, the
Especially
sound
the
system.
music.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was
gosh.
amazing. It
I
was
bet.
so cool. And it was so fun because we were too young to ever go see that. Like when it originally came out.
Right.
Like we've never had that experience. But I love when they re-show those movies. Like I would love to go back and watch Twilight again.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
the Hunger Games, like a big theater screen.
I would have loved that. I wasn't allowed to watch Twilight growing up.
I actually
I
don't
never
think
saw
I
it.
ever went to see Twilight either.
Really?
No, I think my
Oh.
older sister did. She was allowed to, but I was like maybe too young
You were
still.
too young.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just wasn't allowed to watch it, period, because it was about love. That was forbidden in my
my
household.
No love.
No, it made me think about Pride and Prejudice is being re-released.
Really?
By the time this
So
drops,
good.
maybe it's already been released. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that was something I was obsessed with when I was
Yes.
a kid because it was rated PG, so it was family friendly. So my mom would take us when it was released in the Dollar Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the only movie we all saw as a family multiple times in theaters.
Aw, fun.
Because we just loved it so much. And it was only like $1.
Yeah.
So it's cheap to take your whole family.
Right.
And I remember going to the theater and literally every single time it was packed full
Oh,
of people. Like it was just such a good movie. The 2005 Keira Knightley version I think is better than the long version. I'm sorry.
I agree. I
Thank you.
agree. It's so good.
It's so good. So yeah, they're going to re-release that. So
Keep your eye out because that's my current obsession, and maybe it'll be yours.
my obsession is, so have you heard about the Pop Star Academy on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh. Have you heard about Cat's Eye?
No, I haven't. Why haven't I heard about these things?
I'm so excited to tell you. Okay. So Cat's Eye, their music is phenomenal. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
They are the first like international K-pop group, but it's K-pop.
Oh.
K stands for Korean. So they're obviously not Korean except one member, but they're ethnically and nationality wise are from all over the world. And there's 6 girls and they just make K-pop-esque music and the
I love
dancing
that.
is like very K-pop and everything.
Oh, fun.
And they were created by like the same like the biggest K-pop label in South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, what happened was they recruited like a ton of girls to go through training for like a year or two, like a long time. I had
my
no
gosh.
idea. Apparently that's normal for K-pop groups. They like grab a bunch of
Wow.
people, have them train for a year or sometimes several years,
Oh my gosh.
and they may not even make it into the group.
Oh my gosh.
Which is crazy. And so anyway, so they did this international version of that. They got a bunch of young girls, trained them, and then told them at the end of their training that they were actually going to be in like a competition show.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to be competing against each other, doing like these music videos every week of covers of really popular songs. And people are going to vote like who was their favorite, like the public would vote. And anyway, they made a whole like documentary series of their training and then like the competition itself.
Wow. I'm going to have to watch this.
It's so good. I loved it. I just love entertainment,
Yeah.
the industry. And so like seeing the behind the scenes like that was so interesting to me.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And so
Especially to see it in like a different country, right? Or international.
it was here in the US.
Oh, never mind.
But then they eventually traveled to South Korea.
Oh, that's
for like the competition
cool.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool. So anyway, that was a while ago when that happened. And the girl group that formed from it is called Cat's Eye. And I love their music. It's so good.
Gosh, fun.
Like, I think you would love it. I'll send it to you. But also there's a girl that was in training that didn't make it to the end. Her name is Adela. And she is releasing solo music and I'm obsessed with her
Wow.
solo music as well. Like, I think
love it.
I genuinely think if she keeps up with what she's doing, I think she's gonna be like one of the next waves of like big pop stars.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
that's so
she's
cool.
so good. And Cat's Eye is already doing like so well. I think they're getting like 7 million streams on Spotify already or something like that. Yeah.
I have to go check them out.
Yeah.
How have I not heard of them?
I
That's
think
crazy.
you would love the show. You're always watching
I would
shows
love
and
this.
stuff, so I think
really
you'll like
am.
it. Yeah.
It's my hobby. People ask me like, as a mom, what's your hobby? I'm like, I watch TV. I don't even read books or listen to books. I watch TV. That's my hobby.
That's so funny.
That's a really awesome recommendation, though. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing.
Yes. So if you ever wondered how the K-pop world works, you should watch the Popstar Academy. It's on
I
Netflix.
definitely am interested.
Super fun. Those girls are crazy talented. I wish I had like a pinky's worth of their talent, but
Wow.
I have a new show now. Yay. Yeah. I think you'll like it.
Well, that's all that we have for today. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for
watching
tuning in.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
And if things go according to plan, this will drop on April Fools.
Yes,
So
April Fools.
I promise this podcast is not a joke.
It's not a joke. It's real.
It's real. We'll come out with episodes every Tuesday. Is that what we decided on?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Make sure
So.
you subscribe, rate, review.
Please. And then follow us on Instagram if you want to participate.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks for popping in.
Thanks for popping in, girly pops.